Alrighty, welcome back, my sovereign souls. You are listening to And They Lied, a child's healing from the abuse of being a biker's daughter. And I am your host, Shannon, your guide through the unseen, the forbidden, and the forgotten. This episode is for those who already know, the ones who feel this deep vibration or frequency in their bones, who wake up remembering things they were never taught, who see visions that have no earthly explanations. And for those who've walked the liminal spaces, the dream walkers, the ones who've touched something beyond this reality and have returned to tell the tale. I know the Hall of Records is real because I have been there. I have seen it. It is not a myth. The knowledge it holds is not lost. It has been taken, hidden, locked away. But it is again waking up just like you are. And now, beneath the pyramids, something has been revealed. Not to the ones who claim to be the keepers of history, not to those who would suppress the truth, but to us, the ones who are always meant to remember. And so in this episode, we're going to talk more about this and to know that it's more than just history. It is reclamation. Today, we will talk about the Hall of Records and the newly discovered pyramid chambers and the ancient emerald tablets of Thor. But most importantly, I will share with you what I saw when I died, when I was pulled beyond the veil and shown the unbroken truth of our own existence. Because if you're like me, you're not crazy. You're not alone. And everything you have felt, seen, and know in your soul is real. And if you're ready to remember, let us begin. Hello. So let's talk about um, this first part, the Hall of Records, the forgotten truth that is beginning to awaken within us all. And let's just sit and kind of go through this a little bit. Like for centuries, um, people have talked about the Hall of Records, right? Especially in the esoteric circles. And some say that it was buried beneath the great sphinxes in Giza, and that it had a vast library containing the full, uncensored history of humanity. Others believe it's not just a physical place, but like a spiritual re- repository, like where our soul goes, the realm where all knowledge exists simultaneously. A sense, yeah. I can tell you it's actually both. It's actually both. There is no difference in the two. When I died, when my heart stopped, I was pulled into this place of comfort and knowledge that seemed very much endless. It was not just about books or scrolls or things like that. It was like a living consciousness. And in the flowing streams, you could see histories unfolding. You could see the records encoding itself in energy. I was not just shown like one story. I was shown like all of the stories all at once. Every timeline, every event, every deliberate alterations in like the truth or the known reality. And so I saw what the world really isn't ready to accept. And I'm becoming more okay with that. It really is something that I now have seen that, again, the world is really not ready to see, but those of us that have been awakened are understanding. The Hall of Records is completely real, how you saw it, how you felt it. Um, and it holds a lot of truths for a lot of us, not just about like the civilization and histories, but like we could see and understand our starseed elements. The information is almost as if it was like hidden purposely, right? Like it was meant to be hidden and then turned on like a switch. And it wasn't the scholars that I think did it. It wasn't like the church that did it. I think it was more us that did it, the starseed children. I mean, we are good with numerologies and energy fields and things like that. And those are the things that we were able to kind of like code into those timelines that you can see when you are in that Hall of Records. And so it's like almost as if we purposely coded these dates, these times, these because a lot of us are seeing specific dates, specific numbers. Um, and so and then on top of it, like the angel numbers, the the relevance between how certain numerics are starting to line up and come into um, a key element of what needs to be shown as so that you know that it was real, right? Um, and I'll get into that more um, coming up soon. We're going to talk about certain numerics that have come to me as a revelation as to what this they mean and why they mean that. So we'll get into that one. Um, and I think that the reason why they did this was because the ones that hit it did it because they were always knowing that the danger of humanity remembering who they really are when it wasn't, I don't want to say an appropriate time, but the right time, maybe. Um, they kept it hidden, right? Like it was there, safeguarded. I want to say safeguarded. And so like there's a reason access has been restricted because we knew that the true histories of our origin, the system of power that rules this world would try to collapse that in a blink of an eye overnight in, snap of a finger. So you may be feeling like this knowledge is already stirring in you and you already feel it. And the pull is pulling you towards something that you really can't name. And a lot of us are struggling with that. And it's because it's almost as if there is no name for it. It's energy, it's knowing, it's coded into us. And so a sense that there is more and that you're meant to remember more is something that a lot of us are experiencing right now. And so the key message in that is that you have to remember you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not wrong. You're the composer. We see all of the energy flows, right? And so the Hall of Records is waking up and it's, coming online. And those who are meant to find it are being called, are being tapped in. So let's talk a little bit about like the pyramids. How come this is a triggering thing? Because today's episode is the Hall of Records, ancient truths, and what lies beneath the pyramids, right? So this is really a call to all those that are the enlightened ones or the elevated ones or the ascended ones. And the pyramids, what they just found and why it matters really plays a big, huge part of this. And so the discovery that has been made beneath the pyramids is getting a lot of talk, a lot of discussions are happening. When, you look at the grandeur of how large these pillars are underneath the pyramid and how deep it goes, and you start to understand how big they are, it really does compare what we're seeing now to something that is a huge shift. So mainstream sources are now confirming that there is a existence of a massive underground structure beneath the Giza Plateau. Some call it a labyrinth. Others say it's an initiation chamber. But those of us that can see beyond illusions, we know better. We're the star seeds. We know these are not just burial chambers. These are not just hidden tunnels. They are essentially a portal, a place of activation built to channel energy and to shift consciousness. The pyramids were never just tombs. The entire structure of the pyramid is designed with precision that defies modern technology. Every angle, every material, every chamber serves its purpose. And so let's just talk about that first, okay? One, the pyramids are built from granite, limestone, and gold. Back in the day, the alchemists of that time were extremely advanced. And so you can see that they already had a very good understanding of what materials did what metals did what. And so the limestone, the granite, and the gold were specifically chosen because they conduct high frequencies. And so it gave the pyramids this electromagnetic conduction. The next point is these structures were literally placed in mathematical perfection, mirroring constellations and unlocking starseed energy, the energy force that we know, that we have ascended to and have chosen to essentially bring back to this day. And these are alignments of those celestial bodies, allowing us to see exactly where these points need to be placed, positioned in order to mirror the energy back down to us. Another one is that, yes, there is two huge chambers underneath the pillars and the columns. And so the beginning into me intuitiveness of my spirit was that these were initiation chambers. And because these are newly discovered underground spaces, they didn't have any of the typical artifacts that you would see for these burial chambers. And so these spaces obviously weren't meant for the dead, they were meant for the living. And for those that underwent profound transformation, shifting into that higher sense and states of being, as you were at the base of this energy, really does feel more along the right path. And so now they are beginning to uncover all of this. And so we must ask ourselves, why now? What is waking up beneath these ancient structures? What have they been trying to keep safeguarded? And more importantly, why are we feeling the pull? So with all of that, you have to really start to see that there's something more, there's something bigger. There's an element that lines up with this time period. And it comes in for a reason, right? We have all of these things going on around us right now. And it just all feels so crazy and chaotic. And I think a lot of it, when I look at this card, this is the Ten of Embers. Oops, my mic. The Ten of Embers is the Ten of Wands and Oop, here we go. My bad. There we go. This is a card that teaches us that we can actually step into what we've been working for. Yeah, it looks chaotic, but it is this one is like the 10 star seeds coming down and planting themselves, giving us that chance to really understand that this is the moment in time. And so when you ask that question of why are we feeling the pull, and it's because we're the star seeds. We're the ones that set out to do all this in the first place. And when they get off track, we have to come back. We have to reawaken every time to try to keep the planet going in the right direction, I assume. But I don't want to be an ass. We shall see. Um, so I want to talk about like the next part of this. The next part of this that I was seeing was the Hall of Records, the pyramids, and the Emerald tablets. And it's because like I know Billy Carson has been speaking of it, and he did really hit on some things that just caused so many flashes to happen for me. So I want to talk about the Emerald tablets and the ancient ones, what they left behind for us. Okay. Um, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth are one of the most controversial, powerful texts that is known to humans at all. These are not just scrolls, okay? They are said to contain the fundamental laws of existence, passed down by Thoth, the ancient being who mastered time itself. So let's talk about some of the things that the tablet talks about. The tablet talks about the Hall of Amenti, which is the Hall of Records. I have been there. I saw it. So this is what they call the hidden realm where the souls rest before reincarnation. Some books reference it as the Guff. Um, or there are others. I mean, there's just so many different representations that they've called it that like so we have that, the Hall of Amenti. Then we have the power of vibration, and that true nature of reality is that everything is energy and everything is frequency, and we are just molecules buzzing around, holding ourselves together. And then you have like the pyramid portals that are discussed in this, and that the descriptions of the pyramids being more than just burial tombs and yada yada yada, that these are actually um gateways. They were powerful gateways used to travel beyond this plane, maybe to this 5D realm, maybe to other celestial bodies, and so forth. And then it also talks about a return of ancient knowledge, the prophecy that there would come a time when the truth could no longer be hidden. These pyramid discoveries, we cannot hide this anymore, so, and then you see all of this other stuff about the Vatican opening up the chamber of the dead, and like all of these things are like perfectly aligned to point that the return of the ancient knowledge is here. That time is now. And so, like, if you've been seeing symbols in your dreams, feeling an urge to seek hidden knowledge or to experience like strange energetics, you're experiencing strange energetic shifts. Again, you're not alone. We see the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance is just on and popping. It is consistently throwing out um, high frequency levels. And a lot of us are having a lot of headaches. A lot of us are having a lot of um, visions. A lot of us are having a lot of moments of is this it? Is that it? Is it wait, huh? So we have a lot of that going on. And so like I said, the time is now. This is what we are seeing. And if you, like I said, if you've been seeing symbols in your dreams, you feel this like uncanny urge to seek higher knowledge, um, strange energy shifts in your field. These are all codes of reawakening, and they're meant to be received. And those of us are meant to receive them are the ones that are going through all these interesting ups and downs, awakening at weird time. Yeah, and so these are basically us receiving them and them becoming activated. And so you have to ask yourself at that point, like when you're going through this, you have, uh, are you really listening to what they're trying to show you? Are you, you know, just chilling in the dream world? We have the Eight of Trees, the spirit plane. I think the Eight of Trees was talking about the hidden knowledge that is actually being tapped into us right now. Because if you, it's like peaceful and tranquil, and again, like a community of knowledge. And then we have this one. This one I love. This is the spirit plane. And this is when I was started speaking about are we being awake? Um, we're being reawoken, right? Come on. Yeah, come on. My camera. My camera. My camera. So we'll hold it right there until it pops in. Um, so like this is that truly are you listening moment, the spirit plane, right? There we go, the spirit plane. Like if you look at all that code, like there's code. If you need to pause it, right now would be a great time. All right, the spirit plane. So like we have all this starting at the top, it's all coming down to the bottom's all going up to the top. We have all of these realms right here, right? And they're just all swirling, they're all getting their information. Each one of them has a different frequency from a different area, different celestial body. So it's the spirit plane. And we need to ask if are we really truly listening? Are you really truly getting your downloads? Because one of the things that I was shown, and it's so crazy, I pulled this card just for this. This is a bonus card that came in this deck, but this one is called Dream World, right? And look at, you have two moons. You have this beautiful like pond of awakenings. And so let's talk about this one, the Dream World. And this is my my biggest part I want to talk about is like when I died, right? Again, coming back to the spirit plane, I was not met by like the tunnel of white light. I was not greeted by familiar faces. Instead, I was pulled into something more vast, right? Something more vast. And that's why this one comes up. A consciousness beyond time is what I wrote. A consciousness beyond time, the question mark. I saw the record keepers that were in these halls. Entities or beings, energies that were immensely wise, who honestly didn't alter histories. They just let them play out as if it was their job to record every single detail and guard it. And then I could see as certain timelines coming back here, the certain timelines, you notice how they kind of start to fade into the back. I watched those like shift as certain knowledges were erased, rewritten, hidden, and I was shown how we are heading into a reset because we've been here over and over again. And each time bearing truth became, they hide it lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And beneath the pyramids, I saw what has been waiting. There's something there. There's something powerful. There's something they fear that if we find out, will destroy all of their stuff, all of their the work that they've done to oppress, to hide, to banish. And now all of a sudden, like the world is starting to uncover all this, the veil is thinning, and there is no way for them to avoid the dream world, what they considered to be the dream world. Mhm. So what does this really mean for all of us, right? If you feel like there's this shift happening, it's okay. It's okay. Asa wand it, babe. Asa wand it. We're gonna do it. You're not crazy, not by any means. If you feel this urgent need to, like, I need to know, I need to remember, know that you're being called. It's okay. If you're experiencing heightened intuition, visions, synchronicities, know you're waking up. You're becoming one of the eagles. Okay. One of the eagles. The ones that are meant to see will see. Those that are meant to remember will remember. And the ones that are meant to lead this shift, we're already here. So, with that, my sweets, till my next episode, which my next episode might be a little interesting. I don't know. We're working on it. Trying to maneuver it, but episode 20 might be fun. I don't know. Um, until then, Ashe O, may the spirit awaken with the power of the ancients within you. Blessed be, may your path be illuminated by truth. Aho, may you walk in sovereignty, knowing you are the key. And to my all and those that I love, Bereshones, may you be divinely protected as you reclaim what's been hidden and always within you. So remember, sisters, the time is now, and you're not alone. Till next time.